One thing that flourishes when there are rising tensions between countries is the creation of innovative technology. Why is that? Well, who wouldn't want to defeat their adversary with greater power and strategy? In the last century, we have been gifted some genuinely spectacular military vehicles that have been developed, which have pushed the boundaries of engineering and mechanics to unimaginable lengths, weights, and capacities. So let's blaze through the 8 of the largest military vehicles ever built. Number 8. T14 Armata. The T14 Armata is Russia's new main combat tank and weighs around 60 tons. It entered service in 2016 and is currently in production. They are 29 feet long, 35 feet including the gun, and 11 feet wide. These beasts are managed by a 3-person crew with a diesel engine that has up to 2,000 horsepower, giving the T14 a top speed of 56 miles per hour and an operational range of up to 310 miles. The tank is still in the process of manufacture, so we don't know all the details of the finished product, but they are based on the early ones that have already been delivered. The main weapon is a smoothbore cannon, which is supported by a 1/2-inch cord machine gun and a 0.3-inch PKTM machine gun. The crew is protected by an internal armored capsule, while the chassis and turret are outfitted with explosive reactive armor, which is becoming increasingly popular in recent tank designs. Although Armata has a strong layer of armor and an enormous size, the tank is incredibly light and speedy, which has made some people think that it may have been built with a newly created composite material. Number 7. K2 Black Panther. With an unpredictable dictatorship in the north, South Korea's military undoubtedly has one of the strongest armed and advanced machinery in the world. The K2 Black Panther is a key component to their battleground tactics. It's one of the largest main battle tanks used by any armed forces. Packed full of the latest technology, each one costs a fortune, an estimated $8.5 million, making it one of the most expensive tanks used by any country, that weighs just over 61 tons and is 35 feet long and about 11 feet wide. Only 3 people can sit in the Black Panther: the commander, a driver, and a gunner who keeps the passenger as safe as possible. The vehicle is protected with Pasco armor, steel modular add-on armor, and other types of armor that are still classified. The 12-cylinder water-cooled engine produces 1,500 horsepower, giving the Black Panther a top speed of 43 miles per hour and a range of 280 miles. The armaments are the most significant element, which this K2 Black Panther has plenty of. The main armament is a 120mm smoothbore gun, but it also contains a K6 heavy machine gun and a coaxial machine gun. The expectation is that it will be able to handle almost everything thrown at it, particularly from the demilitarized zone with North Korea. There are already more than 200 in active operation. Number 6. Schwerer Gustav Gun. At number 6, we have the largest gun ever built, the German 80cm railway gun, known as Heavy Gustav or Great Gustav. It was developed in the late 1930s by German industrial conglomerate Krupp as siege artillery for the specific purpose of destroying the main forts of the French Maginot Line, the strongest fortifications that existed at the time during World War II. The gargantuan gun measured in at 39 feet high and 154 feet long and weighed in at nearly 1,350 tons. It required a 500-man crew to operate and maintain this gun. It can shoot targets up to 29 miles away with 10-ton shells through a 98.4 feet long pipe. The Gustav gun was the largest caliber rifled weapon ever used in combat, the heaviest mobile artillery piece ever built in terms of overall weight, and it fired the heaviest shells of any artillery piece. A sophisticated vehicle. Just remarkable. Number 5. The Zubr Hovercraft. Hovercraft are known to be more as eccentric vehicles that can be used for civilian travel in various parts of the world. The largest ones ever made remain a key part of the Russian Navy. The Zumwalt-class vessels were designed in the 1980s and are still in use today. They're used as transport ships for amphibious assault units, such as tanks or soldiers, as well as moving and laying naval mines. They're quite large, spanning 187 feet long and 84 feet wide on the back, with 3 4-bladed propellers powered by 5 gas turbine units, giving them a top speed of about 70 miles per hour and a range of 300 miles across the calm water. They're handled by a 31-person crew and are outfitted with 4 air defense missile launchers, 2 AK-630 close weapon systems, and 2 Ogun rocket launchers, as well as the machinery required to transport and lay up to 80 mines. The Zubr landing craft has a cargo area of 4,300 square feet and weighs in at 340 tons at light loads and 555 tons at a full load fuel capacity of 56 tons. It can be intimidating if you see a fleet of these crafts approaching a shore, but just know that it should be an alarm bell to you that the fight is almost over. Number 4. Ohio-class submarine. We must protect not only on land, but water too. The Ohio-class submarines are the kings of the water and were built in the 1970s. And once they entered service in 1981, they were the largest submarines ever built for the United States Navy at a cost of roughly $3 billion in today's dollar value. 18 were built and are still operational. They're 560 feet long and 42 feet wide, with an S8G powered nuclear reactor, reloaded every 9 years, 2 geared steam turbines, and 2 additional auxiliary engines. The subs are capable of reaching depths of over 800 feet and hitting top speeds of 29 miles per hour. They have a crew of roughly 150 people and have limitless range in theory, although this will never happen in real life because food must always be replenished. It isn't one of the world's largest submarines, but the Ohio-class ones have every other design beat in terms of missile count. They can carry, in this example, 24 Trident 1 and 2 nuclear ballistic missiles, plus 4 torpedo tubes with Mk-48 torpedoes, which are an essential part of the nation's nuclear deterrent, and their movements are therefore classified. This is some serious firepower that can be delivered to an unfortunate target in a matter of seconds through a variety of channels. By 2031, the Ohio-class subs will be replaced by the Columbia-class, which will be nearly equal in size, but will contain far more advanced electronics. Number 3. Zumwalt-class Destroyer. The Zumwalt-class Destroyer is a sort of guided missile destroyer that is a stealth ship and is one of the new designs that were scheduled to enter the US Navy fleet in the last decade. It costs an estimated $4.4 billion per unit. Maybe only Elon or Jeff could afford this kind of weaponry. Even though these are named destroyers, they are far larger than any other destroyer in the Navy and should theoretically be classified as such. They are 610 feet long and 80.7 feet wide and are propelled by 2 Rolls-Royce MT-30 gas turbines and 2 turbine generators. The ships have a top speed of 35 miles per hour, room for 2 helicopters and 3 unmanned aerial vehicles, and are outfitted with 20 vertical launch modules, 2 advanced gun systems, and 2 Mk-46 Mod 2 gun systems. They have the potential to be extremely deadly ships and are yet to be thoroughly tested. They were planned to be widely deployed throughout the Navy, but the project has been scrapped due to enormous cost, with only 3 constructed. If any country gets their hands on a fleet of these, it's time to run. Number 2. Nimitz-class aircraft carrier. Until the first Gerald R. Ford-class aircraft carrier was launched in 2017, the world's largest aircraft carriers had been the Nimitz-class, and they continue to be larger than anything any other country currently makes. They are 1,092.2 feet long and up to 252 feet broad, and are propelled by 2 Westinghouse nuclear reactors and 4 steam engines, allowing them to reach top speeds of more than 35 miles per hour. Since they are nuclear-powered, they have a limitless range and are designed to have an operational lifespan of up to 50 years. However, modifications will significantly extend this. These, as well as the 10 ships built in the 1970s and 1980s, are still an important part of the fleet, with a crew of almost 5,500 people. The ships can carry over 75 fixed-wing and 9 helicopter aircraft and are outfitted with up to 24 RIM, 7 Sea Sparrow missiles, 4 Phalanx close-in weapon defense systems, and a variety of countermeasure systems meant to defend against attack. There's also an extra layer of 2.5-inch thick Kevlar over particularly vulnerable sections. Yet can you believe that the only cause of any significant damage to a Nimitz-class carrier was an accident, not hostile activity? Number 1. Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier. Aircraft carriers are the most powerful boats at sea, serving as a platform for a fleet of planes, while also being loaded with a plethora of armaments and capable of serving as a base of operations for fights taking place far from home. They are one of the largest military vehicles in the world, and the Gerald R. Ford class is the most recent type conceived and constructed by the US Navy. With 10 ships planned, 2 of which have already been completed, each costing an estimated $13 billion, they're around 1,100 feet long, 252 feet wide at their widest point, and 250 feet tall with 25 decks. They are powered by 2 Bechtel A1B nuclear reactors, giving the vessel a top speed of 35 miles per hour, with 4 propeller shafts. Through the water, They require a crew of approximately 4,500 people and have a massive top-level flight deck that can carry more than 75 aircraft at once. They are armed with 4 surface-to-air missile launchers, 3 Phalanx close-in weapon systems, and 4 M250 caliber machine guns, making it virtually impossible for enemy craft or planes to get close to them. With everything on board, these aircraft carriers can hit targets hundreds of miles away and operate for up to 3 months without resupply. They're also outfitted with cutting-edge technology like stealth capabilities, automated systems, and a range of radar and scanning systems, giving them a floating weapons platform like no other. If this entire video didn't give you a little scare, you might just be a tough nut. Imagine what a country could do with any of these machines in large numbers. We'll let that action movie play in your head. And that's all for today, guys. We hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like it and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on another wonderful video from us. Till next time.